Let's play quietly. Hey everybody, this is Brian here from Let's Play Quietly, and this latest installment of Overwatch is a competitive match on Numbani, and I am playing with Nick. I am playing Orisa for the first part of this match, and I can't remember what Nick is playing. He might be playing Soldier 76, but this is the first competitive that I played. I played with him for a little while today, and this was the first round of competitive that I played for a while. And right out of the gate, I make a terrible decision and basically leave myself out in the middle of nowhere with no support. So I was shaking off a little bit of the rust, but I ended up doing pretty good in this match. And I don't know if you can hear right now, but it is pouring rain here where I live right now, so you might get a little extra background noise from the pouring rain. But in any case, so here we are, and we're already kind of in a rough spot on the point, but with Orisa, I'm just trying to lay down a lot of suppressing fire and make it difficult for Reinhardt, and I think Roadhog is up there with him, to wreak havoc from above. And we're doing an okay job of holding the point at this point, but I feel like we gave up a lot of ground already. So with Orisa, I tend to adapt my playstyle to whatever the other team is doing. If we have them sort of cornered or pushed back in their spawn, then I try to set up shop and let people kind of get behind my shield. But if we are sort of pinned down, then what I like to do is try to lay down that suppressing fire and limit the amount of options the other team has in terms of where they're coming at the point from. So, and you just saw that I used my ult there, and we held off a pretty decent charge from the other team. So we're doing alright right now, but they're coming at us from two angles. They keep sneaking up the back there, and I think there's a soldier running around. There is, and he has a mercy attached to him, so I'm not going to be foolish enough to go down there and chase them, but I'm just trying to keep him at bay and keep them from being able to rush the point. And luckily our mercy is buffing my damage a little bit, which is helpful. So in this match, I'm not so much using the shield to set up points for the rest of the team as I am just trying to limit the access points to, where the payload is. And this Reinhardt, I think, overplayed his hand a little bit, but they made a good push right there. And I can't remember if they took the point at this point, but Genji, who I hate, did a nice job with his ult there. Oh, Nick is playing Zenyatta, and he's really good with Zenyatta. He's a much better Overwatch player than I am, so their mercy just used their res. I was so happy to get Genji right there because he always gets away, and that drives me insane. But they have a Pharah as well, and the Pharah can be a real pain in the butt if you let her start using mercy like she is right now, and basically float around forever and just wreak havoc on the entire team. So you kind of always have to have somebody that's looking out for Pharah. And in some cases that should be me on this team because I have enough sustained fire that I can I kind of have to choose whether or not she's going to be my priority in any given situation. But I almost have another ult here ready to go, which is a good thing. Obviously, I was hoping to kind of make a stand here and keep them from pushing around this corner, but their Reinhardt just kept charging in and spearing people. And obviously, anytime you have a Roadhog with a Mercy attached to him, that's bad news. I almost got killed there. I keep forgetting to use my Fortify ability with Orisa. I probably could have held on to that ult, but I figured if we had a chance to really kind of push them back here, then we should take it. And at this point, we did a pretty decent job with that. And again, one of the things that I kind of love about Orisa is that she's kind of like an offensive lineman, you know, and she can establish a choke point. Of course, when we let Farah get behind us and use her ult, that's not the greatest idea. But I do like Orisa's ability to sort of create new choke points or kind of draw a line in the sand and allow people to rally around that and hold it. And of course, when they snuck up behind us, that kind of ruined that, so it's getting a little dicey here. And I just kept walking into, that was the theme of the night, I kept walking into getting speared by Reinhardt. There's a Winston match that I played, and it's not part of this video, but I must have gotten speared about 5 times. I felt like every time I came around the corner, Reinhardt was just waiting for me, and he would spear me. So, Nick and I had a good laugh about that, because I just felt like it was happening every time. But again, I'm just trying to establish this corner now as a place for us to hold and pester Mercy and Farah enough to keep them from completely turning the tide of this battle. And we're doing okay here. We have a minute left to try and hold it, especially after they basically bum rushed that first point. If we could hold this point, it would be good. That was an okay use of my Fortify there. But you can tell it's getting close to the end of the match because things are getting crazy now. And I could not find that Farah. She was standing right there. Luckily, I got a lucky shot off when she tried to use her super. And with these guys, it was just a matter of time. As soon as Reinhardt drops his shield, but I'm almost at another ult. This would be my 3rd one. And he speared me again. So that was either 2 or 3 times in this episode that I got speared. But now we're in overtime because we've held them off this point, and I just got my ult, so I throw it down. Even though there's not a ton of enemies here, but I just wanted to make sure we drove off whoever was still left. And we ended up doing that successfully, so round 1 is complete. And we barely stopped them from taking that very last point. So now we have to beat that. And now that we're on attack, I am switching from Orisa to Lucio, because Nick and I talked about not only wanting to have a second healer, but also wanting to be able to take advantage of Lucio's speed boost to move the payload faster once we took the first point and were escorting the payload, so I went with Lucio, who I have not been playing a lot lately, but I do enjoy playing. One of the things that I've been trying to work on with Lucio that I am terrible at is wall running, because part of the buff that they gave Lucio in one of the most recent patches is around his wall running. So people that play Lucio that are really good at that, they have an advantage. I am not good at that at all. So I try to make up for that by being good with switching between my healing boost and my speed boost. And as you saw there, Nick is playing Tracer in this match, which is good because we essentially want to not let them get settled in their defenses. This first point is really tough because most teams will just camp up there, and as you saw, I walked right into a Hanzo arrow, literally right into it. Boom. That's how I started that match, which is pretty terrible. So I wasn't too pleased with my Lucio play right out of the gate, but it gets better. As you can see, 3 of our team is down. But we're sort of coming at them from all sides. I think they have a Widow and a Hanzo. So lots of sniping going on. But you can see, if you saw up on the left-hand corner there, Nick is up there harassing one of their snipers, which is great. He's really good at doing that. I got myself in trouble because I showed my face and I made Orisa come down the stairs after me, and I did not want to do that. And then she used her graviton to pull me in and finish me off, so not playing very efficiently as Lucio right now. But again, I feel like Lucio's biggest value on this map is when it comes to escorting the payload. That's where he can really push things forward with his speed boost. But we're getting there, we're on the point, and that is my 4th time being speared in this episode so far, I think. I just could not get away from it. I feel like that's one of the things that I walk into all the time. That and getting sniped. My awareness of where the biggest threats are coming from is not always that great, but we did capture the point, and now we're escorting the payload. And we've got a Winston on a rampage there. And Ferris getting settled in, which is not a good thing. Winston is a character I've been working on a lot, but I have a long way to go with him. And again, I almost got sniped. That's what I'm talking about, walking in front of doorways like that when you're down a long street is ill-advised, and yet I do that all the time. I used my ult there just because I thought we could kind of turn the tide of this little skirmish, and we kind of did. Even though Roadhog used his ult, there was enough of us there that we were able to quickly take him down. Now we gotta get the payload moving again. And Hanzo is creeping up there on the top. as quickly as I can. And this Winston was pretty decent that was playing against us. But he jumped into trouble that time. I narrowly escaped that blizzard from May. And we're almost there. Mercy rezzed their whole team, which was a good res on her part and a big problem for us. Luckily, we ended up okay here. I was worried May was going to take me out, but Winston helped me out there. And it's going to be real close. Because remember, we stopped them on the doorstep in the previous round. But we ended up taking it home, so that was a really good win. And it was in competitive, which was good because I've been trying to crawl out of the basement in competitive. I'm in bronze now. And I've been trying to move up, so that was good. And it was fun switching between Orisa and Lucio, so I can't remember who got the play of the game. It was Reaper. And I think it's right at the end. Yeah, it is. That was a big play. So I wouldn't call that a stellar match with either Lucio or Orisa, but it was decent. Our Mercy was really good. And obviously Reaper just destroyed, so. And I ended up with 23-9 overall between the two, so not terrible, but anyways, that's going to wrap up this video. So if you like this video, please click like and subscribe to our YouTube page, and I will be back again soon